Hello everyone and welcome back. Today we're going to start on a fun little project that I'm hoping is going to take me through Halloween. So I was in Dollar Tree yesterday and I found these little cardboard book boxes. And right away I thought this would be a great Halloween miniature project. So that's what we're going to be working on. And I'd already glued a piece of I went through my Halloween papers and I'd already glued a piece in the back and forgot to turn the camera on. So welcome and let's get started on this project. Now I'm not working in any particular scale because 1/24 would have been, I think, a little bit too big. I wouldn't have had a lot of room. The only other options were 1/48, 1/32, 1/35. And I don't do those. I mean, just 1/48 was too small, and I mean, someday I'm gonna do it, but the other two were just kind of crazy measurements. So I'm just gonna be doing what looks right in this one, and sometimes it's good to just do your own thing. So that's what we're gonna be doing. So next, I'm going to be taking, and this is the paper I was using for the ceiling. It was a big spider web all over the paper. I don't like spiders. They bother me. So one of the first things I'm going to do is I'm going to take and I'm just going to rip a piece off the corner because I want it to look like the paper is peeling. This is an old house. It's not a good one. I want to make a rip in it. And I want to kind of curl the end back and kind of fray it out. Maybe take a little chunk out of it. I thought those boxes were cute. I got another one that's an apothecary, but it's a little smaller of a box. So I'm just kind of doing that, and maybe I'll just have like the side curled over just a little where it meets the ceiling. And then I'm gonna attempt to distress it with my distress inks. So I think first of all, where it's kind of a fresh peel, I want something like walnuts. I think oh, too many decisions. Sometimes I overwhelm myself. I think I'm going to want to go, is that the black? Where's my other one? I think I want to use, if I can find it, pumice stone on that one because it's not as dark as the black, but it can give you a really, really, really grungy look. So let's try that one. I'm just going to kind of ink up the sides, just kind of grunge it out. I don't want to do too much, but I don't want it too little. I didn't even know if these inks would still be good because I'm betting you some of them have been around for probably almost 20 years. And it's quite a long time for inks. I've never re-inked any of them. So, yeah, I'm impressed that they still work. I think I'm just gonna, this is just a little too nice. So we're just gonna run a little bit of it over the paper like so. There we go. And now I'm gonna switch to, I think, walnut stain because it's darker than vintage photo. And I really want it to look like it's been wet and weathered, but I want it, vintage photo. Oh, I've got so many of these darn little sponges. There we go, that should be walnut stain, I would hope. Goes to the black. This one I'm not so sure about because when I used to do like my journals and stuff, I used a lot of walnut stain. I really do. I'm just going to put a little bit of that on there, and I'll probably go over it with vintage photo because that'll lighten it up. These edges, I want this corner to look like it's been leaking. So I'm going to go pretty heavy-handed on that if I can. The walnut stain has been running out of color ink for it was my favorite. Like, I liked it best for antiquing. I liked it over the vintage photo. So yeah, let's get a little bit on this edge because I kind of rolled it a little. But yeah, I want a big nasty stain up there. That would be good. This needs to be. And I don't care if I get creases in the paper because that's just going to make it look older. Don't know how much will be visible because there will be ceiling beams and I'm planning on lighting this. So that's another thing. And I think we'll switch out for a little bit of vintage photo just for that yellow look. I am so excited about this, guys. Halloween is probably my favorite holiday. It just always has been, followed very, very closely by Christmas. So that's when I usually get together with my family. We didn't last year. Part of us still haven't even had Christmas, and I had Christmas with my daughter that has the kids in July, finally. So it was just, everybody's busy and everything is crazy. So yeah, that's our mucked up little ceiling there. So let's get that glued into the box. Now these have been painted with Waverly's, oh my gosh, Waverly's mineral chalk paint, just so it would look like there was some old plaster underneath or something like that. And I did cut cardboard pieces, one for this side and one for each of the top and the bottom, because it does have a lot of give. This side has the back, the spine, and the side have an extra piece of cardboard, so they're more stable, but these had a lot of give to them, so I decided to just go ahead and let's see if we can get a bit of walnut stain up in the corner, so it looks like that's gotten wet too. So we'll make this corner up here, and we'll just muck it up because it's gonna be showing where the paper is peeled back. So there, we want it to kind of look like it's gotten wet up there. So let's go ahead and glue the paper to the piece of cardboard. And this project is basically going to be using just things I have on hand. I don't think we're going to need a lot of glue. So everything that's getting used in this project is something I've already had, and this is just a little, it's one of those little makeup spatulas from Dollar Tree. Just works good to move the glue around, and you don't have to get a glue mess off your fingers. Okay, so there's that, and I don't care if it peels up a little bit in some spots because, as I said, I want it to look old. I want it to look like it's, you know, been peeling, and it's fine with me if it doesn't all stick exactly. So that is our ceiling there. I don't want to overdo it, but I don't want to underdo it either, because I just want this to just look right. So, and I'm just using old boxes that we've had around. This paper's a little long on the one side, so we'll turn that off real quick. I am just using junk. I guess I'll get a little over on that side too. Okay, well, no harm there. This one, I'm just going to put the glue on. I'm not going to use the spatula, but they really are handy for gluing. I bought it back when I was doing journals and my failed attempts at mixed media, which were failed attempts for sure. So I'm just going to be running my glue on there like that, and I'm just going to press it in really good. And yeah, that glue is not really wanting to stick to the distress stain up there in the corner, but that's okay because I wanted it peeled back anyway, and I wanted some of the corners showing. And I measured these, but it looks like that might be just a little too long too. Now the question is, can I cut it off so it doesn't look horrible? No, I can't, so I'm just going to take a little tiny bit off right now. Just enough. I'm sorry, I know I'm behind the box, but I'm trying to see my cut really well so that I can get it halfway even. Okay, let's turn this upside down, like so. Now let's push it in there and hope it sticks. The paper on the box is somewhat shiny, so not everything wants to stick really well. There we go. I'm just working with that little corner right now, trying to keep that piece of wallpaper turned over so that it really does look like it's peeling. Okay, I think we'll call that good. Lid still shuts, we're good. Okay, and then the other piece that I have cut will be the floor, and I'll be doing the floor before I put it in because I'm going to make it like a stone floor, I thought. Okay, so that brings me to this other side wall here. It goes in over here. And this was not intentional, not really, but I ended up with the wall peeling over here too. So that worked out. I was originally going to put that leak to the back side, and I put the thing in backwards, so yeah, that worked. Okay, so let's get out. Let's do an walnut stain since we have it open. Get that corner all yucky looking. Get our stain going. And I want this piece up here just really, I want it to be like the other piece where it's just really, maybe we can even, maybe get some smudges going down the side of the wall a little bit. This is pure fantasy. This is not really made to look too real. I don't care. It's fantasy. It's a witch. It's Halloween. You know. Let's go this way a little bit, like it's kind of went down the wall there too. And then I think what we're going to do is we're going to add some of the pumice stone that I have, just to yucky up the sides a bit and the corners. Oops, you know what? It works better if you put the little thingy on there, yeah. Okay, so we just want to get these corners, get the edges of the cardboard, just kind of smear it around in there, down by the floor. Just a bit there. It's just a little too bright, I think. I haven't played with ink for so long. It's kind of fun. I used to love inking. Don't ask me why. I've always just kind of loved inking. And it just looks a little awkward there. Let's see if we can't smudge a little more around. Okay, that's a little better. And we're going to glue that into the box too right now. Oh, let's see. I think yeah. All right, well, we're gonna go ahead and glue this in too. Oh, I'm a little long on my side over here. And that's okay because it's better to have it too long than not long enough. Just gonna trim that piece off. There we go. Yep, must fall on the floor. Well, I've got a heck of a mess I've got to clean up anyway. So, yeah, this is gonna go inside our box. I really need to have the box laying down, so I don't know how much you'll see, but I will try. Okay, and I'll show you when we're all done. And again, I'm just gonna put the glue around the edge. This is a little bit in the middle. If you hear anything out there, it's my one cat. He wants out. It's going to be 90 some degrees today, so he may get out for a little while, but he is not gonna be staying out all day long, which will make him mad, but it's too hot for him to be out for too long. So we leave him out a couple hours and then he comes back in, and of course, like I said, he's not a happy guy when that happens, but I don't want him getting too hot either. So there's our kind of mucky walls. There's our little corner up there. Can you see that? Let me see if I can get it. Oh my gosh, there's no good way to do this. All right, well, tell you what. Let's tip it that way. I don't know. I've got so much glare. Anyway, this is pretty fun. So I am going to be lighting this project. So probably one of the next things I'm going to do is I'm going to have to figure out a way to punch some neat holes in my box. And I do have an awl, I just don't know how that's going to go. I want to, yeah, because any holes I make are going to show. So maybe I can just take the little lights and run them. We're gonna do a beamed ceiling also. So let's get that ready, and then I'll break while it's drying. I had some really, really old plywood, and it's all dried out. It's some old scrap pieces Rob had down in the basement, and he gave them to me. And you'd think old, rotted out, dried out plywood would, you know, like when you go to cut it, you'd think it would just cut. It didn't. It did not. So let's, oh my gosh. Now this, I want to use sparingly. This is, it was some burnt umber, I think, that I put some black in, so it's almost black. Almost completely black. And I'm going to take my favorite brush, and I'm just going to, I think I'm going to put a little water with it. Really wet it down. Because I'm going to put it over my beams here, which I already took a box cutter and I already put chunks into my beams because I don't want them to look new. We'll be aging them a little more. Let's get some more water on that. I just really want this to kind of run into the spots that I've made the cuts in. So I'll just try to do that, get the ends of course. And then I'm just wiping it back off with a paper towel that's kind of wet because I'm going to be going over it again with a little bit lighter of a color. And I have 5 beams, so that'll work. And then I think I'll just try running the little fairy lights along the beams, and I'll only have to do 1 hole, hopefully. So I think we need some more paint. I am going to be a mess by the time I get done, and it does not bother me to have paint stain like that on my hands. As long as it comes off, in a way it kind of makes me feel good because I know I've been crafting. I know I've done something. I know I've gotten something done. And see, this is what I mean about this old plywood. It is not it's not taking that color where I want it to. That's what I'm saying. It's some tough old stuff, I guess. I'm gonna really get it down into that green, and then I want to wipe it back off where they're, yeah, and see where I want it to go down in, it's not going, and where I don't want it, it's getting black. Oh well, you live and learn. I think that's kind of like my motto in life, you live and learn. My mother used to always say that, live and learn. That was usually when I'd done something that I probably shouldn't have done and hurt myself or was upset over it. Then I got like, well, live and learn. Still alive after all these years, so I must have learned something along the way, I guess. I hope. Oh my. Oh my. Yeah. Alright, well, I'm just going to put that on and wipe it off. Oh, now I got paper towels stuck to it. So, I don't know what everyone's weather is like where they live, but we are in the 90s and 100s again for the next few days. Today is supposed to be like 95, and then we're going to hit the hundreds for the weekend and into Monday. So we're going to be warm here. And we've been having just really, really, really high humidity with this. Like 100%. So it's been, you go outside and it's pretty miserable because it's like breathing water. Not fun. Oh, I'm running out of paint. I don't want to put any more out. Okay, well, that's as good as that's going to get, I guess. It'll give it a little bit darker of a background, although I have some pretty dark paint mixed up here too that I was going to use for a wash. I'm not cleaning my brush. I'm just going to go over it. And I think I might let this sit and soak in because we're going to do some more weathering on these when they're more dried. And I'm putting quite a bit on here. I really want it to soak into the wood. So we'll put that on, and then we'll wipe it in a little while. Just make like it's a wiping stain, although it's paint. It's just some burnt umber, some black, and it's a lot of water to make it runny. No special secret recipe, just plain old wash. Oh my gosh. I hope you enjoyed my Temu haul as much as I enjoyed taking it out of the package, because, yeah, it was kind of like Christmas, like I said in the video. I remembered most of what I bought, but I couldn't remember it all. So it was really exciting. It was like Christmas. All right. This is the one piece of wood that naturally had some chunks out of it. So, and then of course I found that out. I found that piece after I had already worked to cut the other ones. Okay, let's wipe this and see what we're getting. That's better. It's better. It's not great, but it's better, I think. So, yeah. Normally when I'm staining or when I'm doing this, like if I do it with cardboard, I just keep going with my layers so that the paint kind of mixes. But I think I'm going to let these dry a while, and then I'm going to dry brush them. I've got a couple, 2 or 3 other colors of paint I want to use to try to really age these so they look, you know, like, I don't know, like old beams that have been around a while. But I really wanted the dark first to go into all the little crevices and stuff. So I think I'm gonna leave it here for now, and I'm gonna figure out exactly where I want to run my lights. I know I want them going up along the ceiling so we have overhead light. See, that's the problem though too with plywood. You've always got those glue spots in there. Hopefully I can hide that so it won't show. This side wasn't quite so bad, and hopefully when I get it all aged and stuff, it's not going to show much at all. So anyway, I will be back when we are ready to start aging these, and probably muck up that other wall and glue it in, and that'll probably be our project for today. All right, well, thank you very much, and I will be back in a little while. Hi, I'm back. I think these have soaked in sufficiently. Let's start weathering them. Now I'm going to try to do these like I have done for my, when I've done cardboard. And with the cardboard, let me see. Don't know if I have a piece of what I've done, but no, I guess not. They turned out really well. Now this color is called Chocolate Bar, and there's a lot of red in it. But what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be using a little bit of each of the other colors I chose, and I'm not going to let them dry, and I am not going to be washing my brush in between. And we'll see what happens. I'm using some very, very, very old nutmeg brown. If I can even get it out, it is so old. Look at this bottle. It's been around forever. But as long as it still works, I'm going to use it. I'm not going to waste it. I'm going to be using some of the Chocolate Bar. Like I said, this has a lot of red in it. It kind of scared me the first time I used it. I thought it would be more brown. It's not. I'm going to be using, this is just the pewter gray. These are Apple Barrel, all of them. Whoops. Ew, yeah, I got a lot of that. Oh well. I've got plenty of it. I've got the big bottle, and I've got a couple small bottles. And then I'm using Antique Parchment, which is like probably my favorite kind of neutral color. All right. So I'm going to attempt to do more like a dry brush technique, kind of, but not exactly. So I'm just going to put this on there. And I've got at least 3 sides that need paint because I don't know which ones I'm going to, some of them it's obvious where I distressed them that I want to use them. And as you can see, I hope you can see it's getting really red. It's kind of scary the first time you do it because you're like, oh no, it's red. What am I going to do? So I don't know why they call it chocolate bar because it's just really very red. I'm just going to kind of... My kitty's out there just howling right now. And you'll probably be hearing Rob telling him to shut up because he's just been at it and at it. And I really wish I could let him go out, but it's just too hot. I don't want him to get overheated. Oops. Now in this, I'm going to get really messy, and I'm okay with that. I'm just kind of brushing it here and there. So I just kind of got some different color going on. I don't know if you can see it. Got to use my room light today because although it's sunny and bright, it's not bright enough. I'm on the north side of the house. Now this one, I just got a little too much gray on. That's okay because I can just kind of rub it into the other paint. I'll try not to get quite so much this time. Just here and there to give it that worn and weathered look. And it's okay if you go heavier in spots and lighter in others. It's going to end up with the same result. I've always said, and I firmly mean it, I believe in layers to get the desired effect. Whether I'm making faux rusted metal or I'm doing something like this, layers are what I believe in. So I'm just going to take some of that down with the paper towel and I'm going to flip it over there. Okay, that works. And the nice part is if you don't get the desired effect, you can always go over it again. So I'm going to put a little more nutmeg on this side. And I've got the gray in my brush, so that's graying it out. But it's getting a much lighter but weathered look to it. And then I'm going to put on just the tiniest, hopefully tiniest bit of this antique parchment just to kind of make it white. If I get too much, we just go back over it until we're happy. That is a bit much. You can always wipe it off, you can always go over it. Fiddly, time consuming, but I find it really enjoyable trying to age things. I don't know. I'm not a person who everything has to be pristine and beautiful. It has its place. Just like this has its place, and I'm getting a much more, that one's almost a little too gray, but I'm getting a much more gray weathered look. It probably doesn't pick it up in the camera like I would like it to, but let's move on to the next one. Let's get that red on there. Scare ourselves because it is very red. Don't know about you guys, but I've not had too many candy bars that have been red, so to speak. And it is just a bit disturbing. I'm trying not to get that paint down in the crevices of the wood. This is that piece that naturally had its own chunks out of it, and it was so perfect. I wish the whole piece I used would have been just like that. And I'm just kind of pouncing the brush on the wax paper just to get the excess off. Right, go right over the top with the nutmeg brown. Too much there, way too light. Just rub it in. Oh, here we go. Put some more in this one. And sometimes when it blends with the chocolate bar, if you've got too much, it becomes a lighter reddish brown. Now this one, like I said, I absolutely love this piece of wood because it was naturally, I don't know if there was, like at some point it got some like wood borers or something in it, but yeah, it's got the coolest notches, so it's going to go right in the middle of the ceiling up there where everybody will see it toward the front because it's almost just too perfect. And this one is getting a little bit light, but we can always give it a dark wash too if we need to. Whatever it takes to accomplish the look you want, that's what you do. So I'm wiping this off. This one is not graying like I would like it to, but that's okay because I can do this all day. I love it. I won't make you watch me do it all day. But I truly love aging wood. Trying to get that just right effect. Or at least one that pleases me. Okay. Take a little bit of that off. Dull it down. This is what I mean. These are my, I don't know if you can see it where it's chunked out there, but that was just perfect to me. That is an old beam. Okay, and just the tiniest bit of the antique parchment on there. So I want it to look old, weathered, water damaged, something like that. Heavier in spots, lighter in others. Just kind of flicking my brush around. I may go over these with a little more of the gray, very, very lightly. But yeah, it's getting really rustic looking, and once the paint dries, it'll dry a little different color too. So yeah. We might go ahead and start the stone floor. I'll speed that part up so you don't have to sit through it. I really, oh, you know what I forgot? I forgot all my other colors. Oh well, that works. Just cover them with the, oh, that got pink. We're doing pink. Okay, maybe she had a potion blow up. Maybe it just blew up and we ended up with some sort of really funky pink color. Who knows? Right? It's a witch. I'm sure that nothing goes right for the, or, you know, they have days where nothing goes right. All right. Well, that's pink. Let's get some brown in the pink. That would probably be a good idea. Huh. Yeah. Yeah, we're pretty pink. Various colors of pink. It's maybe one of those where we gotta just wipe it down and start over. Or just repaint the whole thing in the dark and then go from there. Yeah, we'll see. Let's put the gray on. Let's see what happens when we add the gray to this. Probably have a pinkish gray. I think we're gonna go a little heavier with the gray. And then wipe it off. Yeah, that's a little too pink. I think we may have to start over on that one completely. Or just keep adding brown until we get where we want to be. Okay. And this wood has got some, like, I don't know, it's the glue. This is a piece of, this is old plywood and probably not ideal, but then again, I'm okay with it. Yeah, this piece, I don't know if you'll be able to see it on camera. I'm gonna hold it up. It got way too gray, so I'll fix that off camera when we end the video. That one is a little too much. Oh yeah, let's have a pink house. Pink beams. Yeah, this is not a girly type witch, for sure. So I'm just gonna go in. Okay, that's a little much of that. So getting more of this nutmeg out. Oh, and then I put the handle of my brush right in the paint blob. Pretty awesome. All right, well, I'm gonna let those sit and we'll see what happens when they dry, what they look like. The pink one will definitely be getting redone. And now for our floor. I think we'll also start that project. And I'm gonna move some of this stuff, clean up the space a little bit, and I'll be right back. I'm back. I think we're gonna leave it here today. This video is already getting long. My beams aren't quite dry, but let me hold them up, show you kind of what they look like. They're not exactly how I wanted them, but they are old and they do look aged. So we're gonna call it good and we're gonna be happy with that. I know different mediums take paint in different ways, and obviously this technique works a little better with cardboard, but they're still old and bad looking. So yeah, that'll work. Okay, well, we'll do the floor next time, and probably, since I'm going to be doing the floor in stone, probably also the fireplace. So until next time, I want to thank you again all for joining me. Forgot to say welcome to my new subscriber. I hope that you all have a really safe and happy Labor Day weekend, and I will see you next Friday for more of our Witch's Spellbook Room. Thank you for joining me. If it's not too much to ask, please hit like and subscribe. It really helps out the channel, and it lets me know that you're okay with what I'm doing. Thank you again, and until next time, bye-bye.